Okay, good morning, guys. Today's activity is, I think we started already, and we watched some videos. The topic today is Christianity and Medieval Society. That is on page 533. 533. Okay, 533, yes. Okay, now let's begin, guys. Let me make this connection for you to be able to watch it. Here it is. Okay. This is very easy and simple topic. Oh my God, it's just so again. Okay. Now this is the topic. Now the main idea is the Christian church shaped both society and political in the medieval Europe. Why? Because the Catholicism was, or the religion was very important back in those days. Okay, it was very important. Nobody couldn't do anything without the approval of the church. So that's why it was very important. This is like how the church was organized. Okay, the Pope, and over here are the monks and the friars over here, and in the middle the other cleric, they call it. Okay. Over here, this is the structure: the Pope, secular clergy, and regular clergy. Okay, somebody is on his microphone, so please, or turn off your cell phone, guys. Okay, please, you are disrupting the class. Now, nearly everyone who lived in Europe during the Middle Ages was Christian. Yes, everybody was Christian. In fact, Christianity was central to every part of life. Clergy and their teachings were very influential in Europe culture, church and society. Now everything that happened has to involve with the church. Like it says, festivals, market, religious ceremony all took place there. Now the church encouraged these people to go and pilgrimage journey to religious places like this one. This is in England, the Canterbury. This is a very religious place in the mid-ages. Now, what is the Canterbury Tales? Is a collection of books. Who did it? This guy, Geoffrey Chaucer. The Geoffrey Chaucer, he's the one who created this, the Canterbury Tales. It's a collection like 25, something like that, 20 or 30 tales about situation back in those days. And it's very, very famous. Now, other places that the church encouraged to visit was Jerusalem, Rome, and Compostela, and that is in Spain. Okay, let's move on. The church and political. Now, why the church was very important? Because the people who were rich, and when they die, they left all their belongings, their lands, to the church. So that means that the church was very powerful, and they were very rich, because they received all these lands and treasure from this guy who died. Why? Because they wanted to go to heaven. Remember, you have to be in good terms with the church, because if you have a fight with them, they wouldn't let you to enter to heaven. So that's why everybody used to do this kind of action. Now, there was a group of people in this congregation, in this Catholic congregation, and they call it monks and friars. They didn't agree with the way the church were acting. Why? Because they were greedy. They were collecting too much treasures, things like that, and they said this is not the right way to run the church. Over here it says orders of monks and friars did not like the church's political nature. Now, some people were unhappy with the political nature of the church. They thought the clergy should focus only on the spiritual matter. These people fear that the church had become obsessed with wealth and power, and that is what happened. Now, some of them, they separate And this group of people were the monks. This over here, there's a picture of that place. You see, this is a mountain. It said the monks of Cluny, and this area is called Mountain Cluny. It says, among those unhappy with the church were a group of French monks in the early 900s. And they started a monastery, and they call it monastery. The monks live in monastery in the town of Cluny. The changes at Cluny led to creation of religious order, and they call it these orders, religious orders. The Cluniac monks across Europe, people saw Cluny as an example of how monks should live. Now, the difference between monks and friars is that the monks, they separate from society and they live away from the society. Over here, it's like a jail for them because they don't have contact with the other people, with society. They only live over there. While the friars, the frailes, they live in the society. Now, this is an example of what the monks were supposed to do since they wake up. They used to wake up at 2:30, and then this is the first prayer of the day at 3 a.m. Then at 5 a.m. they study religious texts, and then at 6 again praying. A lot of studying and praying. That was their schedule back in those days, maybe today. Okay. Now women also have an important, and they become nuns, and the congregation call it, they live in a convent. They live in a convent. While the other, this guy, they live in what was monasteries. The monks in the monasteries and the nun, they live in convents, like the friars, I think so. Now the friars, not everyone who joined a religious order wanted to live apart from society and live in cities or spread Christianity teaching. Dominicans and Franciscans. So this is a group of order that belongs to friars. Dominicans and Franciscan, name of their founders. These are the founders of this congregation, the friars. Dominic de Guzmán y Francisco of Asís. Que Francisco de Asís, que es el santo de los animales. Por eso que hay, cuando hay un día específico de Santo Asís, todo el mundo lleva los gatitos, los perritos a la iglesia para que los bendiga. ¿Por qué? Por el santo de San Francisco de Asís, porque él quería, he really loved animals, okay? And beggars. Now these are the picture of these guys, okay? This is Francisco de Asís, and this one is Dominic. Now the main idea over here now, everything changes. Lead helped building the first university in Europe. Now the church was very important. Why? Because of them, the first educational institution was built by them. University are built. Some of early universities were created by the church. That's why the church was important in history. The church goal was to teach people about religion. That was at the beginning. In order to do church, university also collected and preserved religious texts. Other universities were created, a group of students who went searching for teachers who could tell them about the world. The bridge of God. Now we have time, 50. Now over here said the Middle Ages, there was an attempt to bridge the gap between faith and reason. Now this is important because of this. They create this university in order to, because there was everybody thought that everything happened because of God, and you have to only to believe. But there were other people when they start studying at the university that they were asking some questions, and that's why they try to get solution to this question. That's why I said to bridge the gap between faith and reason, or between the reason or science. This movement become popular to lead to the development of university. Most teachers in this university were members of the clergy. Religion school taught law, medicine, astronomy, and other courses. All classes were taught in Latin. So that means if you don't speak Latin, then you need to learn Latin. Why? Because the classes were taught in Latin. Now the Dominican philosophers argue that rational thought could be used as support Christian belief. For example, he wrote an argument to prove that existence of God. This is Thomas of Aquino. That's why he is very important. They wonder how human reason and Christian faith were related, how they relate the reason and the Catholic faith, the faith and the reason. Some people at university thought began to wonder if the two ideas could work together. According to him, he says that God is the one who created that, that idea. He said Thomas also believed that God had created a law that governed how the world operates, and he called it natural law. That's why he is important in history, Thomas of Aquinas, okay? Now, the other part here in the chapter talks about art and church. Religious architecture. The greatest of the church were cathedrals, okay? There was over here, there is an example of a cathedral, large church in which bishops led religious services. Begin in 1100s, Europeans built their cathedral using dramatic new style called Gothic architecture. Now, for instance, la Iglesia del Carmen, the Carmen Church, que está en Vía España, el estilo es más o menos como este. So, el estilo se llama Gothic architecture, arquitectura gótica. ¿Ya? La Iglesia del Carmen que está en la Vía España. He said, what made this Gothic church so unusual? For one thing, they were much taller, o sea, eran más grandes, and older churches. The wall often rose up 100 feet, o sea, eran bien altas. The ceilings y el techo era alto también. Reached the heaven, como si estuviera tocando el cielo. Now, religious art. Medieval churches were also filled with beautiful objects created to show respect for God. The way they create all the art, the art was in order to give us a respect to God. Even the clothing priests were during religious service was attractive. The clothing, the way they were wearing for the ceremonies. Some monks added the sheet of silver and gold to the pages. They are talking about the books because the pages seems to glow, and we use the word illuminated to describe them. Okay, now basically this is the topic about really the Christianity and medieval society. Now, I don't remember, guys, if turn on your camera, please. Your camera on. I don't remember if I assigned you already your assignments number. Did I assign you already the numbers for your and that is on page 539. Alicia, did I do it?
No.
Assign the number for the assessment, Alicia? Yes or no?
No.
No, okay, now, okay, thank you, Torres. Now, that is on page 539. Remember, guys, this topic is on page 533, and the title is Christianity. You have to write this in your notebook, Christianity and Medieval Society. And over there are the vocabulary. Then you have to write the vocabulary. The words are the clergy, religious order, Francis of Assisi, friars, Thomas Aquinas, and natural laws. 6 are the vocabulary for words for the vocabulary, I'm sorry. And then after that, you have to complete the assignment that is on page 539, 539. You have to write the answers in your notebook. Yeah? Now the
all of them?
Excuse me?
All of them?
No.
From 1 to 5?
I'm gonna tell you which are the ones that you need to resolve. Okay, now you need to resolve number 1, letter A, and letter B. Write it. Number 1, letter A and letter B. Question number 2, letter B. Question number 3. Question number 4, letter A and B. And number 6, that's it.
Profe, ¿puede repetir que la conexión anda mal desde acá?
Excuse me, sorry, Sebastian, what did you say?
¿Me puede repetir que la conexión anda mal desde
Yeah,
acá?
don't worry. I'm gonna repeat it. Now you have to solve question number 1, letter A and B. Question number 2, letter B. Question number 3. Question number 4, letter A and B. And question number 6. Do not do question number 5. Number 5, no. Number 5, no. The rest, do it. Got it?